at Sharp Cheddar Green Bay.
What?
With football and beer.
The land on the hill.
Cheers, boys.
Fuck the Bears.
Crack your beers.
Oh my God.
So stay sharp.
Go Pack, go.
All right, Cheesehead Nation. We are done with week 11, heading into week 12, Thanksgiving week. We are all dispersed around the country, but still finding time to get these episodes done.
Sure.
All right, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Sharp Cheddar GB and on YouTube at Sharp Cheddar Green Bay. All right, everybody, let's crack them.
I'm sticking with my Arizona theme and having a little Modelo Negro.
I don't think it's Arizona.
It's Mexicano.
Classic champagne of beers for me.
Nice.
Blue Moon for me.
I'm going with my game day PBR. You can't see it through Matt Nagy's face after the double doink.
Nice.
But
I gotta say, I feel like we're back from our original eps here with me being in Arizona. We're doing it over Zoom like this.
Yeah.
Good memories.
It's like the first step.
yeah, it feels weird.
Many followers.
Definitely cannot say that I am enjoying this feeling of going back to April or whatever this was, but you know. First off, let's start before we jump into any quarters here. Talk about how fucking awesome it is as of today that we have a Saturday game in December.
Yeah, I'm pumped, dude.
Yeah, it is hot.
The Carolina game getting flexed to December 19th. I know, Hank, you look perturbed.
Yeah, we'll see what the situation is. I don't want to get ahead of myself in the other direction yet either, because the ACC championship game is not clinched yet or anything. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
It's gonna be a fun Saturday of grilling and drinking, though.
Well, plus I take the GRE at like 11 a.m.
Oh shit.
Oh, and our first step of the bet. I love it. Big gambling day. Love it.
Joe, you taking it that day too?
No.
He's a week before.
Oh, all right. Well, that'll be great. Have a lot of stuff to celebrate while drinking and eating brats. Anyway,
Hopefully
let's get into
wins to celebrate from now to then. Jesus.
Let's get into the first quarter and talk about the shit show that was the Colts game this past week. Matt,
I don't want to say shit show, but it was.
I think it was just a lot of the turnovers. I'm surprised of how angry both you and Omar, you and Joe are about this. I'm actually pretty optimistic because I think our offense showed. I think this is the best defense in the league. It's either them or the Bears are the best team in the league, and our offense looked good. We don't have those two fumbles, which I think the punt return fumble is way worse than MVS's, to be clear.
I agree.
Of course.
It's way worse than MVS's, and no one talks about that. Everyone's hating on MVS for whatever reason this week, and he drops balls every other week. But, yeah, I'm pretty optimistic overall.
Do we want to stick with the optimism and go to Hank here or what?
Yeah.
King optimism, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously was a tale of two halves. The first half, the offense was cruising. The defense was holding its own. Love the turnovers from the defense. Like, love to see that. I think we're going to be able to keep that going throughout the rest of the season. And then I don't understand in the second half how the offense just froze in the second half. I mean, that was really the frustrating part, that they just weren't able to get anything going. But I do think you have to give some credit to the defense in the second half where, I know Omar's shaking his head, but
whoa, that's a bold take.
But Indy was driving it, but we kept them out of the end zone except for one drive. Like every other drive, and they had some very good field position too to begin those drives, and we were holding them to field goals almost every time. So I love to see that, because had that not been the case, like we aren't even talking about overtime. So I do think that the defense in the second half kind of, although they let them claw back, it could have been a lot worse.
Dude, they're on the field the entire time because our offense really shut down. What can you expect? They're holding the field goals. That's a win.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I told you guys right away, the offense totally lost that game, even after putting up 28 in the first half. You just can't turn the ball over 4 times and expect to beat anybody in the National Football League, let alone Tulane or fucking my high school.
Yes, I mean, you're right. The turnovers were a big problem from the offense, but at the same time,
it's a recurring problem though now.
But the defense could not get off the field in the second half. Like, we can talk about how bad it was that the offense really only put up 3 points in the second half. But like, the defense was essentially on the field the entire third quarter.
To your point, they didn't help themselves and to stop them either. So true.
What happens when you have Mike Pettin, who's not a creative play caller either? He just kept calling the same plays over and over again, and nothing changed. Like,
I mean, the problem too is that we are just playing the field position games so terribly. Our special teams is awful.
Hey, your boy J.K. Scott, Joe. That's your boy, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if
No?
he is on the hate list or not. I mean, and I agree with Matt. What you were saying, like, we'll talk about MVS maybe in the second quarter, but like, Darius Shepard off the kick return. That's what you get when you don't draft anybody to field a fucking punt or a kickoff. You get fumbled.
I mean, we need to get Swerve and Irvin back on special teams.
But this has been my complaint with Goody since he's been the GM, is he just sees like the first string. You know, we have Tyler Irvin, great. Devontae, Lazard, you know, a good 1-2. You know, we can debate whether or not Lazard's a number 2 or not, but that's essentially, you know, what he sees, and then just no depth. Just, all right, we're good. Let's get a third string backup quarterback. Like, his management of the rosters is atrocious, but we've been over that before. I agree that the Miff punt return, I think, is the straw that broke the camel's back. I do not think that we should put too much stock in MVS and his punt return or his fumble in overtime, because it should not have gotten to that.
Yeah, I got to give another shout out to his big catch to get us to overtime.
Yeah.
I mean, we aren't in overtime without that.
All right,
awesome pass from, I mean, the amazing pass from the GOAT, and then having it was an awesome catch, awesome pass. Like, that was a great play.
He's like a love-hate kind of guy. It's like,
yeah,
he is getting better, but it's still such a tough thing for me to be like, yeah, we'll stick with him because he's still so inconsistent. He catches a 50-yard bomb and then loses the game on a fumble, dude. Like,
yeah, but
I can't love that.
I gotta put faith in Aaron. Aaron keeps going back to him. Aaron keeps defending him. He doesn't always do that. He'll give guys a second or a third shot sometimes, but he consistently defends MVS, loves what he sees out of him, so I trust him, you know.
He almost gave up on Devontae in Devontae's rookie year. I mean, shit.
I mean, again, the offense lost this game. We had the chance to win it in regulation, and we couldn't get it done.
Yeah, we should have.
Aaron settled for that field goal. It looked like he settled a little bit more. Obviously, the pass to Tanya is what you're referring to. But it would have been interesting if we were down more than 3. If we were down somewhere between 3 to 7, I feel we would have. Yeah. He would have gone for it. And he hit touchdown. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So you can't put too much stock into the Tanyan one, because on a play like that, they probably had one pass in mind, and it was the pass to Devontae. Maybe there was like another one in that same direction, but with no timeouts and it was third down, you know, if that pass is there, you go for it. If it's not, you put it out the back of the end zone to stop the clock and kick a field goal.
For a normal quarterback, maybe if you're playing quarterback, Hank, but I think you forgot we have a messiah at quarterback, so he can do a lot of shit. I have high expectations. I think he should have made that throw.
Part of the reason that this one was so brutal for me is because it was such a winnable game, and it wasn't like you guys always harp on, the defense. It wasn't really – I mean, it wasn't really the defense here. The offense had the chance to win it, and when you do have the GOAT Messiah at quarterback, you expect to win that game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the fourth and one, the
Rushing it.
missed 4th and 1 to Jamal.
That was a weird play.
It's the one that pissed me off the most.
Yeah, I agree. That
It
was
was
so
one of those
Yeah.
throws that Aaron should have made in his sleep.
I mean,
Yeah.
we clearly are egging to get into more of broader topics, implications, quarter 2 type stuff. But like, I mean, on a fun note, like that was a wild fucking finish to watch. I was pacing around the house the entire fucking time. I was losing my mind, and like, I wasn't at Hammy's. I'm here in Arizona, and like my family, like my dad, like wrote off the game like in the 3rd quarter, and then like there's a baby running around, and I'm like trying to keep it together, and like I'm a 12 pack of High Life deep. That was insane.
God,
So fun, real fun finish, just on the shitty end of it.
Did your
Yeah, I
dad
had
get mad
to-
at you for swearing?
No.
I had to leave. I had to leave the room and go watch it elsewhere. I had a family member who maybe watches one football game a year and
I
was
can't.
trying to tell me the rules, and I'm like, this ain't happening.
And Matt and I got good and toasty at the bar. I'm pretty sure I spiked a beer on the ground.
Yeah, why don't we finish Q2 with a little? What do you guys do on Sunday? How's the bar? Give us some stories.
Let's have Q2 be how the bar was and what we're expecting for the rest of the season based on what we saw this past week. So let's
Go for it.
get optimism in here. So we'll start with the bar. I thought, the bar was a little dead. I mean, it was a nationally televised game, but there were more people there than there have been in recent weeks. Our boy Mike took care of us with some shots, and
Nice.
it was a good time.
Cheers.
Yeah, definitely got nice and toasty. We were there for quite some time. I don't remember a whole lot of the 3rd quarter, so hearing you guys kind of talk about it brings back memories of how it actually went down. So it's cool. And then I woke up for the 4th in my head, it looks like. But yeah, it was a good time.
I like passed out, I think at like 9:00 this time, and like outside, like on the couch, and my family was just like, "Jesus, Joe, like what?"
Did you tell them that's what you normally do, or
Yeah,
no?
a little bit.
No.
By the way, Joe, you need to get closer to your mic.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm liking what I see from the schedule the rest of the season. I think we're gonna pound the Bears and Lions, so those are 3 right there. I think the Eagles are another W. The only other tough one I see on the schedule is Tennessee, but honestly, I do kind of take a little bit of optimism out of that game. I know, but it was kind of nice to.
Dude, I mean, I'm an optimist. I'm usually more. You guys know this. I'm like a old school conservative fan here, more so than like Matt and Omar are. But like, fuck optimism, dude. We've been to how many NFC Championship games? Like, and you just lose the game that's gonna get you there in Lambeau. Like, I'm still.
Yeah, if we win out, we're 13-3. I think we're still taking the 1 seed.
7 games, Hank. You're not gonna.
We're
win.
still taking the 1 seed.
Yeah, I think that there's still plenty of room for us to get to 13-3. I mean, Taysom Hill is still starting for the Saints, and the Saints are really the team that's in front of us.
Yeah.
I am, and Matt's going to call me crazy for this, but I'm a little nervous about the Eagles. They seem like that kind of team that's going to, like, we're going to overlook a little bit, and then they're going to come in and surprise the shit out of us again. Other than that, I think that most of the games are definitely winnable. I'm definitely worried about Tennessee because I think Derrick Henry's going to just look at our defensive line and just, like, stiff arm all of them out of the way. But I don't know. I think he's the one that worries me.
I thought the same thing with Dalvin Cook when we played them last year, that he was just going to run all over us, and that was one of Mike Pettine's actually best games, thankfully.
That's true.
I think outside of our schedule, I think we just match up really well with the NFC, even outside of just who we have on our schedule, which I think we'd all agree it's a cupcake schedule, but I think we match up well.
So obviously anytime you lose, it sucks, but it was kind of refreshing that we didn't get blown out this time, because it seems like that has been the trend under LaFleur, is either win every game or just get blown to shit.
But
Yeah.
I don't mean to be the Debbie Downer, but as soon as the offense starts starts fucking up, we have no answer. LaFleur just panics and we can't do shit. Like, as soon as there's some adversity, there's no successful adaptation to it. Like, yeah, we did have some moments.
Those were some big words, Joe.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
stop cursing. Thank you. I don't like cursing on this airwave. Thank you.
I don't know. I don't like. Were there some silver linings from the game against the Colts? Yes. Do we have a relatively easy and winnable schedule? Of course. Fuck the Bears. Did the D look better? Sure. I haven't really thought it's been the D this whole season. It's been mostly garbage time, blah, blah, blah. I still think we're a good team. We're still on top of the NFC North. But like, the thing that we're not saying is, like, a championship team doesn't lose that game in overtime. Like, we may have just given up the number 1 seed. And for how many years have we been saying we need the NFC to go through Lambeau to get to the Super Bowl? Like, that is what's pissing me off.
I also don't necessarily agree with that sentiment in the NFL where, like, a championship team wins that game. Maybe late in the season, but in the NFL, it's a lot more about who gets it clicking, who's hot at the end of December going into January.
Yeah.
Like, the year we won the Super Bowl, we were the wild card team, but it just so happened that at the end of the season, we figured shit out and just started steamrolling. Like, it's much more.
I mean, are you guys?
I have to say I agree with Hank on this one. I actually think that the number 1 seed could actually hurt us because we have not proven to be very good off of bye weeks. I mean, we got it done against the Seahawks last year in the wild.
That's like round. That's just stupid. You want to be the number 1 seed regardless, dude. Like,
and
I think I would rather be the number 2 seed.
This year again, Joe, I don't know if it's as important because we don't have fans and no one else does either.
Okay, sure,
so
but whatever. You still want to play at Lambeau, guys. Like, be real.
I mean, I like it, but
crazy talk.
But our offense is gonna do
You're
better
trying to justify
in better weather.
The loss by saying that. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, this is crazy talk. We want the number 1 seed to have the bye. We need the rest, and then after that, who cares?
I mean, yes, I agree about the bye, but I don't think it's quite the same as what has been in other years without fans.
Sure.
I think.
Are you guys all willing to now retract your early season predictions? I think Hank and Omar said 13-3. I think Matt, you said something like 10 wins, like, or something ridiculous.
Yeah, 11. I think I said 11.
Why would I
retract to 13-3? That's what we're gonna.
Yeah, that's what we're on pace for.
Okay.
Winning out, Joe. There you go. Damn, you're a pessimist, man. Woo-hoo!
I said 12-4. I stand by that.
All right, guys. Well, let's call this quarter. We're gonna go into halftime. Let's start off right away with our shout outs. We're gonna start with Hammies again. You know, they've been staying open for us throughout this whole thing. Apparently, DC has implemented some new quarantine rules, so alcohol will stop being served after 10 o'clock at night, which is posed some hurdles for.
Wait, what? At the bars too?
Yeah, 10 o'clock is the last call for alcohol.
Oh, we'll have to bring a
We're
flask
gonna have to talk about that offline here.
Yeah, that's going to pose for the Tennessee game and potentially the Carolina game on that Saturday night. That's going to pose some problems.
What about the Bears
This
game?
Sunday.
Yeah, and the Bears.
This
Sunday. This doesn't go into effect until like December 10th or something.
Oh, thank God, Omar! You just freaked me out.
Sorry. I should have
doing?
applied with that. The Bears game, we're safe.
Go ahead.
Fucking
Fuck the
Grinch.
Bears.
You're a fucking Grinch, Omar. That's who you are.
But anyway, thank you, Hammies, for everything that you do. You are the true heroes of this pandemic in my eyes. So, yeah.
Let's pour some shots here, guys. What are we doing for halftime? I will lead it off, and I've got a little Terramana Tequila Respesado. So, you know, at the Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Thanks for sending me the bottle.
I am once again going with my Grand Marnier. If you can see it through.
I was trying to look that up to explain to someone how shitty it is, and I couldn't remember the name, but yeah, I got Screwball, fresh bottle.
Nice.
You have some Jägermeister there in Deer Camp, Hank, or what are you doing?
No, I got vodka.
Oof.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Cheers. Go back. Go fuck the Bears.
Cheers.
So I know Joe's been talking about Johnsonville, but I am pumped that my local Giant finally has more than one brand of Johnsonville brats. They have
Ooh.
2. So I'm
What
very
do you
excited.
like?
Firecracker, I was able to actually purchase them on my own. I'm excited.
Ooh.
Firecracker's pretty good, pretty fire. I
Unintended.
myself, I went to the grocery store out here in Arizona, and they have a green hatch chili flavor.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love
it was pretty solid. I've got to say the cheddar and beer remains king, like without a doubt. That's the best of the
Yeah.
bunch. But it was good to switch it up. I wouldn't say it's a weekly brat, but it's good every once in a while, and a little Southwest flavor. And I think even the firecracker is better though. The firecracker is even spicier. So, but we still love you, Johnsonville. Be grilling some Jayville at my place. What for the Eagles game after?
And Miller, send us some free beer.
Yep.
You and Spotted Cow, still waiting on those shipments to arrive. So,
All right, boys, let's get into this lightning round here. Let's talk about some of these.
We still have halftime fun things, shout outs. We got to give a shout out to our semifinalists in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Reloy Butler and Charles Woodson, semifinalists, baby. We hope they both get in.
Charles Woodson's
Absolutely.
definitely getting in. Leroy Butler is likely.
Yeah, I think Woodson's a shoe-in. Leroy might be a little more of a stretch, but I think he deserves it for sure.
He definitely deserves it, but I
Yeah.
think it's going to happen this year.
Yeah.
What's yours?
All right. So Matt and I did our game predictions ahead of the game from my place Sunday.
Yeah, I outperformed you guys,
A little bit
actually.
about what was most surprising about the game.
What was your number? You haven't shouted out your number yet.
I got 4 right.
Oh my God. Okay. Quick little rant here. If you guys can't see my name, it's Brian 1, Omar 0. I have a friend who can name 1 player in the NFL and made a bet on him in DraftKings that he would have more wins from last week on in DraftKings than Omar, and he won last week. Omar has 0. There's a lot of questions with these Omar stats. Just throwing it out there. That's insane. You had 4 right, and you have an algorithm? My God.
So let's talk about this a little
That's
bit.
my most surprising. My most surprising is you come in here straight face with your fucking Omar stats and go over them. That's my most surprising thing. That still happens.
Well, I'm just gonna say my most surprising one was the Dolphins getting beat by the Broncos.
Yeah, I actually bet money on that too. I'm pissed.
Yeah, that was. I thought for
agree with that.
the Dolphins were going to go into Denver and just roll the Dolphins were going to go and roll over the Broncos, and yeah, that was a shock to me.
But I'm still alive in Eliminator for $1 million. They're down to 9,000 people. They started at 540,000. I am pumped.
Matt, I'm surprised you didn't bet on your Vikings to blow the shit out of the Cowboys.
Oh, I did, not cash, but I had them in regular. Yeah, that was part of the ones I didn't get. Yeah.
Guys, are we gonna break down the Bears, or are we gonna break it around the league?
Yeah, let's get into Bears
Break
week.
down the
Alright.
Bears, Joe.
Hold
Break
up.
them down.
We have to crack them.
Oh yeah.
You're ready. Do we have to finish these beers?
Woo. Man, Rock, that Terramana goes nicely with that Modelo. You need to send me some more.
All right, crack your next ones.
Salud. Ah.
All right, quarter 3. Bears.
Bears still suck.
I don't think that this is going to be that much of a game. I mean, their defense is far and away. I mean, you can't even argue that. Like, their defense is good. So they're probably going to stifle.
We just put 28 up against the Colts defense, which is better.
Huh?
Yeah,
31.
Yeah,
31.
31 points, Joe.
Well, 28 in the only half that fucking mattered in that game.
Yeah, duh.
I do think it's going to be tough to run on them. I don't anticipate this being a very good or very big rush game for Aaron Jones or Jamal. But I'm betting that both of our receivers, Lazard and Devontae, have huge games.
Yeah, how do you feel about your boy Laser D getting back? He had what, 2 or 3 catches? 2?
I remember 2 catches, but I don't really remember.
950 is going to be tough for him. Yeah, I don't know who's playing quarterback for the Bears. I don't think they know. No, the world doesn't know. Nick Foles, Mitch, they're all hurt. They might go with the 3rd or 4th string. Yeah, that's going to be, I think, interesting to see if they could even put up any points.
And I mean, Jair's going to shut down Allen Robinson.
Yeah.
And then they have no one else catching. Jimmy Graham.
I don't have any breakdown like stats for you guys, but like what is important this week is like you gotta get over that overtime loss immediately. It's fucking Bears week. It's a huge game. You just gotta win the NFC matchups, the NFC North matchups, especially at home. Like, fuck the Bears. The Bears still suck, like Hank said. That's my analysis on them.
Yeah.
Coming off a bye, though, too, so I think that's a bigger deal. If they weren't coming off a bye, I would agree. I think we would literally smack them. But division rival coming off a bye with the defense that they have, I think it's going to be a lot closer. And I know Omar's going to take the Bears in the points. I know it.
Oh, no, not this week. Not this
I'm
week.
taking Bears in the points.
No.
I think we win. It's just a lot closer than I think you guys are thinking.
I don't think the Bears offense is going to be able to put up points.
Yeah,
I agree.
That and say it's going to be a
It
blowout.
didn't week 1 last year, and we barely won that game.
I think it's either going to.
Yeah, well, our offense wasn't.
Agreed.
Our offense wasn't moving.
The NFC North potential here is huge, though. I mean, it's between 1 game and 3 games ahead. That's massive. We have to play them again in what 2 or 3 weeks afterwards, or something like that.
Last game of the year, so week 17.
5, yeah.
But that one's in Chicago too. So this one's, I mean, just like put it out of reach right
Joe,
now.
I think you're putting too much stock into home field advantage this year. I don't think it matters as much personally with no fans or anything, especially Chicago. I mean, it's essentially the same environment.
Put it 3 games ahead at this point in time, then you pretty much have a lock on the North right now. Well, like, let's do it. Whereas if you lose, then it comes down to that last game.
No, I hear you. I hear you on that point. I'm just saying home field advantage, whether it's in Field or Lambeau, I don't think matters this year.
We've been playing good offense.
This game is either going to be like what Matt's saying, and it's going to be close, like 10-3, like it was week 1 here, or it's going to be like right after our bye in 2014 where it was 55-14. Like, I don't see any other scenario. Like,
we're either winning by 31 or 7. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, 2 scenarios. There you go. Lock it in. I think it'll just come down to how much we turn the ball over or don't turn the ball over. If we don't turn the ball over and play a field position game, I can't see any way they can win. I don't see any way they could drive 75-plus yards. I don't see any way that can happen. But if we turn it over on our side of the field and they only have to go 20-30, that can happen. That's the only way I could see this happening, is if their defensive line beats our offensive line, forces some fumbles or turnovers. That's it.
I mean, we need Rodgers to continue playing like the best player on the field every game. And he threw another pick last week. I mean, he played well, but like wasn't the best.
He also threw 3 touchdowns, so
a 4th would have won.
He's thrown his most touchdowns through 10 games except for 2011. He's only 2 off the pace from 2011.
Yeah, let's win out the season and he'll win MVP, but he still has to be the best guy in the field. We can't turn the ball over.
Yeah, per you, Hank, he can't make a throw unless it's his first read. He can't make that throw, per you, about Aaron Rodgers. So
I'm even jumping on the Hank bandwagon here, Joe. You are pessimist number 1 now.
Yeah, you're number 1. You're moving up those power rankings, Joe. Yeah.
All right.
All right, Joe.
I told you. Matt, I thought your analysis of the Bears game is incorrect. I think we're going to blow them out of the water. I think
All
we're
right,
going to back
Joe.
to that.
What is your score prediction for this game?
I'll say like 34 to 11 or something.
Okay, Matt.
I'll go something weird. 21-15. 5 field goals.
I don't think that the Bears defense like is a factor. Like, yeah, they're good, but we just put up 28 against the Colts. Like, if the offense plays like they should and they don't turn it over, we score like 72 points. Like, it doesn't matter. Just don't fucking turn the ball over and you win the game.
Yeah,
and the defense,
yeah.
it's the fucking Bears offense. The four of us can fucking play defense against the Bears. Like,
Yeah. I'm going
No,
20
I don't know about that.
27-6.
Whew.
Oh, okay. All right.
2 field goals
I'm a good shot
for the record.
I was
Not a
thinking that,
missed
and
extra
then I was
point.
like, I'll make it 11 because I was thinking 2 field goals, and that's it. I was making 11.
Yeah, I'm going to go 35-12. I'm going to go a little.
All right, we got some weird scores this week. Let's hope
Weird.
our predictions are better this week than
And
last week.
I am also predicting Tanyan has more than 1 touchdown because the Bears give up more touchdowns to tight ends than any other team.
So
What about-
2.
A little Sternberger action, huh?
So 2. You're saying more
Maybe
than
3.
2.
Maybe
Yeah.
3, Matt.
Yeah, 2.
So you're obviously going with him in DraftKings then if you believe that bullshit. We'll see if you put your money where your mouth is. Tanyan's dirt cheap in DraftKings, so
Was that? Well, I texted you guys during the Colts game. I was like,
Yeah.
were we using the tight ends more against the Colts than we should have been in previous games? Or was that just like a defensive matchup thing? Like, it seemed like we finally, when we were playing well in the first half, we were utilizing Jace and Tunyon a lot, whereas we hadn't done that in like 2 or 3 weeks.
I thought we were on the Bears. Why are we moving backwards?
Well, you talking about the tight
Well,
ends?
he's
Yeah.
talking about tight ends.
No, let's ignore the game
All
that
right.
happened last
Anyway,
week. Move on.
I want
It's
Nagy
Bears
to
week.
be.
The Bears still suck.
I want Nagy to be making this face like he was after the double doink in the 2018 playoffs when the game is done.
I want Nagy to get fired at halftime.
That would be great.
Another 6 touchdowns in 1 half,
Yep.
52
All right,
0.
so let's move into the fourth quarter. Let's talk about some of the other stuff that's happening around the league because I know Joe's really excited to talk about it. But I'm going to lead us off, and let's have a mention for the king baby back bitch in this league right now. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but after the Buccaneers-Rams game, Tom Brady's sulky ass decided he couldn't take not being a good football player anymore and just walked off the field.
Anymore.
And Jared
Really?
Goff's hand. I think I'm coming around to Hank's point of view here that Tom Brady's just over the hill and he's just a salty bitch. I mean, that's really all there is to it now.
Yep. System quarterback Bill Belichick was the reason for their success.
Wow, that's nuts.
Did you guys watch that game? I mean, he looked bad.
He is bad.
Yeah.
So are the Rams the team to beat in the West though now?
I think they definitely are. Their defense is by far the best defense in the West. Their offense is no joke. I mean, Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods both had over 100 yards. That team looked
Yeah.
legit.
Yeah, they're solid. But again, I don't see anyone in the NFC that freaks me out.
Same.
There's no clear top dog in the NFC this year. So I do think that if we can iron out a few of these kinks, I don't think it's overhaul type stuff. I think it's iron out some of the kinks. I have no problem saying that we can easily win the NFC.
I agree.
Yeah, I would be more nervous about playing the Rams than any of the other teams. I wouldn't necessarily be that worried playing the Seahawks. The Cardinals don't really scare me all that much, but the and it's mainly because of Aaron Donald. I mean, that dude literally just takes over games. And Jalen Ramsey on the back end. I mean, Jalen Ramsey, I think I think that Devontae could still have some success against him, but it would be a tough matchup.
I think the Bucks scare me the most. They literally shit on us. So I know that
They
haven't
shit on
looked
us
good in their
once,
losses,
but dude, they shit on us once, but it's not unheard of for teams to actually come back and, take care of that. And if you don't remember, if you don't remember in the game that we played against them, Bakhtiari went down, and we had to just makeshift the offensive line on the fly.
Yeah.
By the way, do we know what's wrong with Corey Linsley yet? I mean, he walked off the
back
field.
issue.
I don't know where he was. Yeah, that looked bad. Looked scary.
Yeah.
Elton Jenkins, move him around at every position. He's got to get him at quarterback. He's got to get one snap at quarterback. Blow out.
New
Let him
Wildcat.
I think the big question outside the Packers around the league, around the NFC, is can the Saints continue to win without Breeze? I mean, that's what we're all looking at. They did against the Falcons with Taysom.
They play the Falcons again in 2 weeks, so I don't know. It's tough to win twice in 3 weeks against division.
Who are they playing this week?
Someone easy.
The Broncos, actually.
Yeah.
I'll be curious to see.
I could see that being a trap game for them.
I mean, I don't know. I'll be curious to see how long Breeze is actually out, because he had 11 fractured ribs. That's just not going to take 3 weeks, dude. That's
I thought it was 5, and I thought he had a lot more ribs injury. Oh yeah, it was 11. Yeah.
I think
I thought it was 5 weeks.
However, Taysom Hill did well for me in my $3 DraftKings pool. So, I mean, that's something.
Yeah. What about the Vikings streak ended by big boy Mike McCarthy, huh?
Big boy smashing up them watermelons. Big Mike McCarthy eating them watermelons. Come on.
Can you explain to me what the fuck that's all about?
Yeah, he's fat as fuck. He brought up his favorite food and said, I'll motivate these players. Oh, shit, I wasn't supposed to eat these. All right, let's smash them. There you go.
Dude, if Mike McCarthy's favorite food was watermelon, he wouldn't be as fat as he is.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I mean, you got to thank him, It worked.
I can't believe, though, that was his first win in the Vikings' new stadium. He lost 3 times there when he was coaching for us. What the fuck?
That's your guy, Joe. Remember? That's your guy.
Yeah.
Now it just seems like you find bad stats of everything. Yeah, you are the pessimist of the group now about the Packers.
I am so happy about that loss, especially because Matt was so optimistic about the Vikings because he's a fucking Viking-loving traitor. He was so
you guys were rooting
about the Vikings beating the Cowboys.
You guys, Omar bet against us live on air. Don't rule me with that.
Which is ridiculous.
That's pretty bad.
No, yeah. But at least I'm not betting for the Vikings every week.
The Vikings lost to the Cowboys just show how dumb it was you guys were rooting for the Bears last week.
Yeah. Well,
all right.
If the Bears had beaten the Vikings last week, it would have. Well, I guess it really doesn't matter now because I thought for sure they were gonna, win the rest of the games.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, Joe, you want to take us home into Bears week?
I want to know first if you're going to shoot a deer this week, Hank.
Definitely. If I see one I can shoot.
If it's brown, it's down, dude.
Absolutely.
Talking about the Bears, I actually got a little bit of the bear meat to bring back to y'all. Had some of the the jerky sticks, the spicy jerky sticks.
You're going to bring it to the bar on Sunday?
Yes, it's the excellent idea. We'll be eating bear meat while we beat the Bears. Excellent idea.
Nice.
Just to wrap up, because you guys are now calling me the pessimist, which I don't think is true. I just have extremely high expectations. Those expectations were not met against the Colts. I'm still a little raw about it because it was a really tough overtime, but maybe I need some more optimism from y'all. We're going to beat the shit out of the Bears. So
definitely
is what it is. It's Bears week, boys. Let's fucking go. Finish your beer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to finish this beer as I do the outro here. It's a lot of beer. But I'll be back with the crew at Hamilton's. I think we're going to roll on the Bears. hopefully start some momentum here moving into the end of the season, and the offense can be consistent. So pumped for it. Hope to see y'all at Hammy's. Until then, everyone knows the strength of the team is related to the cheddar. So stay sharp. Go Pack
Go
Go.
Pack, go.
Go Pack, go. Fuck the Bears.
Woo! And fuck.